Howdy, folks, and welcome to the RGL Season 13, Stage 2 of Invite. Yes, Stage 2, we got more TF2 action added once again with Mr. Tcmano. We're just blessed to keep getting to cast together day after day. It seems like we've got a big matchup this evening, Rome versus FGP. We got to see FGP the other night have a great match against the government, very dominating, commanding win, and then there's Rome on the other side, some former teammates, friendly rivalries, things like that. We'll get into it all in just a minute. But as I said, I'm Anthony Gex, Mizerandino, and I'm with Mr. Tcmano again. Jay is on production. TC, great to be back with you again.
It is indeed fantastic to be back. We have, like you said, an amazing best of three coming up, FGP versus Rome. You spoke on it a little bit, but this is slightly, I'm not going to say it's a grudge match, but it's definitely kind of both these teams want to win. I think for FGP, obviously, they played in advance last season, and their roster stayed basically almost the same. The only person who did not stay with the roster is Darty, who is now on the Rome squad, who they're facing tonight. So, kind of not a grudge match, but kind of definitely, they want to say, maybe you should have stayed with us, and Darty might be like, I'm pretty happy I left. Regardless of how it plays out, it should be a really exciting match to watch. We got potentially three maps for you. We'll go into Metalworks, Process, and then we might end up on Granary, which is definitely a out of left field pick. But speaking actually of both of these teams, Gex, something very special about them and special about Fireside in relation to them is that we got some stuff for you to get to support both of these teams.
Yes, we do. We do indeed. Both teams have merch over on the Fireside website. Rome have released their merchandise with their new logo on Fireside's merchandise website. Proceeds go towards their upcoming LAN expenses. Type !Rome to buy their merch. Jay can yell at me if this is incorrect, but I'm going to say this next part too. You can also initiate giveaways in Twitch chat through an option on each team's product page. There's a little button there that you can initiate a Twitch chat giveaway as you go through checkout, and you can give away some merch to a lucky fan. But FGP have also graciously allowed us to include their sticker for giveaways in tonight's stream. You could type !FGP as well to grab their sticker, and same thing, you can give it away as well to a member in Twitch chat if you want to be nice and generous. But it's a great cause. You help out Fireside, you help out the teams. What better thing? And speaking of the teams that you could be supporting, FGP and Rome, there, as we talked about a little bit, there's some history here, right, TC? Darty going up against his former teammates in the interview after the FGP and the government match. During the interview, the FGP guys basically said, like, they want to make Darty's life hell tonight is basically what it came down to, right? Like they just want to go, even if they lose, they're like, it's still a win if they can just make him feel like he lost and just target him, hard focus him, the whole thing. So I think no matter which way this one goes, we're probably in for a good one.
Yeah, and I think shutting down Darty, even though it's a slight bit personal for them, it's definitely, I think, a valid way to try and tackle Rome. One thing that they are going to have to worry about, because even though Darty is someone I'd consider the playmaker, he can kind of go on to sniper if he needs to, and I think they might employ him to do that when they get the process and might have to counter snipe against Scouty. But another big important part about Rome is this is their second season in Invite. Everyone on I don't think everyone, but majority of the people on the side of FGP, this is their first season. So they're going up with people who have a tad bit more experience in Invite, which can make a big difference. And the other thing is that Vio and Frisbee, two the combo players on the side of Rome, have been playing together since season 3 newcomer. They've been on the team Sweaty Spaghetti, which one newcomer, one amateur, and they got second in IM and made their way through main, and then they rebranded as Rome and advanced. And those two players have been playing together for such a long time that it's kind of hard to discount that type of chemistry that they must have built up over all those seasons.
That's a huge element of the game. I mean, that's the difference maker in a lot of these matches, right? Is that chemistry and team cohesion, and a team that's been showing that a lot recently too is FGP. I mean, they had a really dominant match against The government the other night, it was slow at times, and maybe the scoreline didn't quite reflect how close it was at certain points in the match. But a complete sweep, 5-0. With dubs across the board from them. I think map one wasn't 5-0, but still, they didn't drop around in that match against the government. And they've been playing quite well. We talked about it in the match the other night. I mean, they've really only had, besides that match the other night against the government, they had one win this season. That was against GCI. They also gave them another really close run for their money in this bracket stage that we're in the Group B kind of seeding bracket stage. So FGP, I think, if nothing else, like, they're playing top of their game that they've had all season right now. And they talked about it in the interview. There's been some ups and downs being like a low invite team. They, it gets demoralizing at times, right? But that win against the government the other night meant so much to them. They're playing, I think, top of their game. And tonight's another chance to really prove what they have. I mean, they came close to beating GCI, like I said, FGP did. And GCI then went on to beat Freyotech recently too. Like, so it's one of those, like, any day, they could come out with a big win, even though on the season Rome was a better performing team. And as we look at some of the previous matches that we've seen from these guys throughout the year, FGP and Rome did play once. So far this year, Rome won their one meeting 4-1 on Bagel, and it's interesting because the Koth maps were the first ones to get banned out as they went through the pick ban process. It seemed like both teams just wanted to get rid of Koth across the board. So we start off on Metalworks, and this is a particularly, I know I'm on a bit of a monologue here, but there's some interesting details. I think it's an interesting pick from my perspective, and I'm curious how you feel about this, TC. I think it's an interesting pick from Rome because they played this map 3 times this season. 2 of the 3 times that they played it, they got 5-0'd. And that was against Witness Gaming and the Darkest Nights. And the one time that they did win, it was a barely a win, 4-3 against the government, who is now, as we know, the last seed team going into playoffs. So on paper, it doesn't necessarily look like a super strong map for them, but they decide to come out and pick it anyway. But on the other side of the coin, FGP hasn't played it at all this season, so maybe they're banking on that. I don't know. TC, what do you think?
I think that's definitely true. That the FGP not having played it this season is probably a boon for the side of Rome. I also think that kind of when they're going into their selection, at least Rome is, they're trying to shut down Scouty Sniper as much as they possibly can. That's specifically why they chose to ban product. It was FGP that banned Bagel because I think Rome looked really good on it previously, but for Rome, banning product means shutting down Scouty Sniper, which can be a difficult thing to do if he's hitting shots. And we've seen him hit shots just in that previous best of 3. And I think when it came to the map selection, at least for 5CP, which was the thing that was remaining, you look at Metalworks, sure, you can run Sniper. You can go lower and have your Sniper kind of like peek through alley or something like that, but it's not nearly as disastrous as something like Process or something like Product or even something like Snakewater. So I think them picking this kind of shows that, it's a lot of nice tight corridors. Maybe, if you have a soldier duo, you're Frisbee and a, what is it, Scuba Steve. Scuba Steve was going huge last time. I think we casted them on Bagel. I think it was getting in behind a lot. So a map like Metalworks where the soldiers can really thrive and potentially not necessarily get behind, but cause a lot of damage and cause a lot of chaos, I think is a really good reason for them to pick it. Maybe another map they could have considered was Gully Wash, but at that point, maybe you're looking a bit more at the demo battle, Draco versus Mig. And actually, speaking of that, Gex, while we have the time, we can run down the rosters just a little bit. I don't think we got the chance to do it.
Yeah, no time like the present one. I'll start it off with FGP, the team coming off a good win here recently. But over on the scout pairing, we've got Scouty, of course. Look out for his sniper plays tonight, especially as we head into map 2. That is bread and butter for Scouty. And then you have Magic on Scout as well. Frosty on Roamer, Throne on Pocket. You got Draco on Demo, and Rave over on Med, who is having quite a game the other night as well. So very strong roster. Like I said, I think FGP is really kind of turning over a new leaf here. They've been playing well recently. This match is certainly for the taking, but they have a tough opponent in Rome, TC.
Yes, they do have a tough opponent in Rome, and Rome is going to be Darty and Vio on scouts. Darty, flank scout, Vio, pocket scout. You're going to have Frisbee and Scuba Steve on the soldiers. I believe Frisbee is pocket, Scuba Steve, roamer, but they're deadly regardless. And you're going to have Mig on demo, technically MiG 23, but we're just going to say MiG. And then last but not least, Gadilly is going to be the medic. And one thing I do want to note is that I think it's going to be definitely kind of a battle of the flank because we do have one team. Actually, no, changing to not ready. I thought they were about to change to ready, but no, they're actually
Right.
unreadying themselves up. But one thing I do want to note is that last time, a lot of the success we saw from FGP was because of the flank of Scouty and Throne. They were able to get behind and cause so much chaos on Sunshine specifically, and a little bit on Process, but not as much because Scouty was usually on Sniper. But definitely on Sunshine, being able to get in behind and just kind of go for those back caps or kind of go for those collapse plays. Same thing on Bagel that we saw these two teams prior. It was Scuba Steve doing the majority of that, getting in behind and getting some nice rockets off onto the medic. So I think one thing to clearly look for is the flank and how those two play. Which flank is getting the better of the other this match is, I think, going to be a very strong indicator for who comes out with the win.
Yeah, and they talked about that I think a little bit in the post match interview FGP did about the strength of the flank. Scouty really playing well with his flank mate and just getting work done over there. Also, another big contributing factor that they talked about in that interview was also having Rave, their medic, calling more. I believe I don't want to misquote it, but it was something along those lines of like Rave is talking now basically and saying a lot more, and that was like a big difference maker for them. So we'll see if that continues to be a difference maker for them this evening, but it does look like we are going live, at least as I see it on my screen here. So we are heading into map number 1. It is Metalworks in this best of 3, and the crucial thing here, winner goes on to continue to try and get a better seed in playoffs. Loser is going to be stuck with 7th seed in the playoffs, just ahead of the government. So it's very, very important to win this. Frosty going for a huge high bomb to start off this mid. Second soldier comes in. They delete MiG right off the bat. Frosty gets cleaned up, but that demo pick is a massive way to start off this mid. Frisbee falls as well. They are all stuck down in Valley. Throne's going to find another, taking down Vio, and they just need to get out now. Rome, the medic, does survive, but a great first mid for FGP.
Yeah, that was a really great mid with 2 double soldier bomb getting in there, being able to take down the demo, and then crucially Throne being able to stay alive, man. He was able to give his team player ad. Great job from the scouts as well to deny those soldiers who got a lot of damage actually on the Rave. Rave went down fairly low there, and with any poor coordination, it might have been able to have been taken down. But because of that, this is going to be big Uber ad for the side of FGP. Looks like, actually no, Gadilly was able to stay alive, so Throne is just going to be going in for a sack. Gets Gadilly down super low, and Gadilly's going to have to use. So now it is actually big Uber ad. As I say that, it isn't, because that's Scuba Steve going right back in. You can almost immediately see these soldiers and these flank players coming up so huge for each respective team, Gex.
They really are, and now we're just back to in an even situation here. Scuba Steve still coming up on his spawn. Let's see what we get on the side of FGP, and I was waiting for it. Scouty coming up on Sniper, just as you would expect to happen in this situation. So we're gonna see if Scouty can open things up for his team here. They're still just trying to work back in the lobby right now as both teams build up this Uber. They're not really in yet. Oh, and there it is. He is already showing the sniper prowess, folks. Taking down Frisbee. That'll certainly open things up. Let's see now if they try and get a more aggressive peek out of him since they can sacrifice the player, or will they just send Throne in out of that right side? Oh, he's getting juggled up by Scuba Steve, and he ends up going down. So the plan thwarted there, but Scouty still holding strong in lobby, just waiting at Shutter for someone to come through.
Yeah, he is going to be waiting. And one thing, actually, Scuba Steve goes down super aggressively here and does so much damage. Rave with a good surf to land on the high ground to take as minimal fall damage as possible. But I think even if they landed on the point, they still wouldn't have dropped there. But still, great initiation from Scuba Steve, not able to find the pick. But one thing for FGP is that even with a sniper, even if it's not hitting shots, and Scouty is probably going to hit some shots, is that you can maybe corral the enemy players into playing into an unadvantageous position. So your soldiers might have an easier time bombing just because of the presence of a sniper. You know, the medic can't necessarily play where they would ideally like to, and Gadilli being forced to kind of play by his dispenser between lobby and the right side. We do see a soldier get in, and that's going to be 2 taken down. Scouty going for a wide peek on the left, and Throne going for that soldier site that we just saw, and now a good opportunity for Rome to push out.
And it looks like the rest of FGP holding strong on the point here. Soldier's going to go and get behind. They're going to have to use here in a second, I think. Rave incredibly low, but staying just diamond hands over here. Frisbee ends up going down. That was the player behind. They're going to clean him up. Frosty incredibly low as well. They just need to take some heals and reset right now. And Magic is fighting multiple people over in right side lobby, but the rest of Rome is just going to back up for now. So we're still in an even Uber situation. Scouty coming back up on Scout, not electing to go something like Cyber. Scouty's actually just walking straight in. The soldier bomb comes in as well. They get the force out of Gadilli. What a play from FGP there. They're going to have now huge advantage. They did lose 2 players, though, FGP. So let's see how Rome responds. Do they shove this and try and get the force out? They certainly are. The soldier bomb comes out, and Rave is going to have to use this time around. Can they clean up on the tail end, though, is the question. It doesn't look like they're pushing the issue all that much. They have the player advantage if they want to send in a sack for now, but it seems like everyone's kind of hanging tight.
Oh, looks like they might try and go for a dry fight here, maybe recognizing that at least there's no sentry gun. That's going to be Frosty taking down Draco as well, falling, unfortunately. But Scouty comes in huge, is going to be able to clean up Gadilli. And even, actually, Scouty's still staying alive here, just dancing around the point. Should be taken down. Oh, he takes down Darty! Oh, my days. Scouty's staying alive for far too long there. And because Rave also just stayed alive until, and they're coming back in. That's crazy talk right now. Magic just kind of just trying to get in there. There's only 4 seconds left on the clock. That's why they're trying to get in so quickly, and they're not going to be able to, and that's a stalemate. So that's why Magic was running in. I was going to say they had Uber ad to play with their gecks, but they didn't because the round was almost ending. And on our first round of this first map, we have already seen a round reset.
I was the time winding down makes more sense, but that push started literally with Frosty just walking forward on like 20 health. He just came out left side. He had like 20 health, just starts shooting rockets and then pulls out the equalizer and just starts running at him like from across the last point. And well, the rest played out from there, but into this next mid, and Darty is going to be the first to fall on this mid. Scouty was able to take care of him, and the rest of Rome already out, hightailing it back out to second. So a quick, decisive mid yet again. That's 2 in a row for the FGP squad. To get this kicked off, let's see if they decide to go quick. It looks like the Valley push is coming through fast as both soldiers are bombing in here very, very high and not committing too much, so they lose their lives. And actually, Scuba Steve was forward, ends up going down, got some good shots into Rave, but ends up surviving. So now they have the player advantage. Both sides have Uber, and now Hypnosis getting forward on that demo, trying to get some damage out. Soldiers flying around, not committing to any of these bombs. No one really hard committing to a fight yet. They're just poking around down in Valley, but gotta be cautious not to sit there for too long, being down on the low ground, and it does look like they're maybe starting to back things up a little bit and reset on this push.
Yeah. They are, and they, Hypnosis is a, technically Draco, but, you know, their RGL name is Hypnosis, so it's fine either way. Regardless, yeah, there was an opportunity, but Throne going in is going to be able to get the force, getting a nice rocket onto Gadilli. Gadilli not fortunate enough to surf that to complete safety and felt like they needed to use it. It was kind of back up against the wall, but Scuba Steve going in with a big high bomb. We also have a few players as well running in behind, just trying to cause some chaos where they possibly can. Maybe collapse onto Rave if they can. Scouty being taken down. Nice rockets from Frisbee. And because of that, even though they're at Uber Desad, this is an opening for Rome to walk in here. They're just going so deep here, and they finally do get the Uber, but I don't think this is going to merit any kills for the side of FGP.
Such an awkward fight. Darty is still hanging out around mid, and Rome wants to go ahead and re-push this, and maybe a smart idea. Frosty ended up falling. Yeah, and FGP knows they can't continue to fight this, and they're going to have to back out now, and Rome is going to recap on this mid. So a very close fight so far, TC, and it looks like Rome now are moving through Valley.
Yeah, Rome is going for it because now they do have Uber. They don't have quite yet, but they're going to try and press the advantage while they still have a little bit of player ad in their favor. It's going to be making their way in. Frisbee bombing in, making some space, and looks like they've been able to securely get onto second. Looks like FGP just kind of peeking by that shutter area, but actually no, looks like Rome wants to be super aggressive with this. They're going in onto bridge right now. They haven't found anything just quite yet, and they're too late because now Rave has gotten their own Uber. They're going to be trying to chase Rome out of their last, and they're getting a few kills all along the way. They might get one more. No, looks like Theo going to be able to stay alive just for now, and now FGP once again have an opportunity to push out of their last. So many weak players on Rome. That's going to be one more taken down.
Wow, that was quite the roller coaster there. FGP going to come out, get second point. VO still down, so the player advantage still continuing with FGP at the moment. They're looking to come through under here, through Valley, into mid if they can work it out. VO just got his spawn. The soldier from Frisbee, good, putting some pressure up from the high ground there to slow things up for a bit. And now, yeah, FGP is going to back it up. 2-second, we're in an even Uber situation, not worth pushing and taking the risk there. So we're going to be hanging out on second for the time being.
We are indeed, and I think this is the first, actually no, the second even Uber scenario we saw. First time it was FGP trying to get onto Rome's last, and they opted for the Scouty Sniper. You know, Rome can do the same thing, you know, put Darty on Sniper. There are a few sightlines that you can work from mid to second if you really try and play correctly, but it looks like they're just going to be trying to play alley. They kind of fake out the fake bomb from the soldier on FGP, so just trying to take as minimal amounts of damage as they possibly can as they get and they prepare for their own tech. Looks like that's going to be Frisbee making some space here. They got a lot of good space on the side of Rome, but they're all taking a lot of damage because of it. That's going to be Vio taken down, and with that happening, Frosty is going to get the force as well.
Wow, that's a big force to come out. Magic is going to fall, and actually a couple frags going in favor of them. Thrown now fighting Scuba Steve as well, back on second. The counter Uber comes out from Rave, seeing if they can clean up on stuff here, but it is still a 4v4 fight. A bit of advantage is going to be in favor of Rome in terms of Uber, but right now the high ground control, well, for a moment was in favor of the FGP players. Frisbee's behind as well. He's going to end up falling, but Scouty gets traded out. It's just trades back and forth. Throne is still in here trying to get on the mid. Oh, what a surf coming out from Cadilli as well, staying alive. Throne couldn't quite seal the deal. And, oh man, Cadilli continues to live another day, and now that is a player advantage for Rome. They are going to have some Uber advantage here as well, about 20 to 25%, and they're going to start to come through Valley. It looks like actually soldiers bombing in, scouting as well. Raven, an incredibly uncomfortable situation, ends up getting cleaned up by Vio there. Great plays from the Rome players. Now Frosty coming in, trying to do anything magic with the flank as well, but great positioning coming out from Cadilli. Oh no, maybe I said it too soon. This force comes out from Throne. The FGP players just swarming them at that point, fighting for every inch to get that force out of Cadilli, but still well played from Rome and from FGP, both sides. And a bit of an awkward situation here as it looks like Rome is just going to reset on mid.
Yeah, Rome opting to reset. Definitely the smarter play, especially considering I think they were worried about a few FGP players lurking in the back lines. Like you said, Throne, who was able to get out. And because of that, you know, it was a fairly solid hold from FGP. Definitely scrappy, but at the end of the day, they got what they wanted. They're able to reclaim and hold on to their second. They have Scouty up on Sniper just to add something to those defenses. It's going to be interesting. You don't normally see a Sniper on second, at least defensively, just because, you know, you don't have that scout to just kind of help chip shot those bombing soldiers out of the sky. So, I mean, you know, if he can hit the shots, that you know, they can definitely make it work. But Rome now have the opportunity as you instantly see Frisbee try and go up and gets taken down. I think that was a sticky trap, but they're still going to go in here, Gex.
Oh no, they lost two though. Cadilli dropping two players in on this, or dropping one, I suppose, and gets launched up by the stickies. Oh my goodness, what a play! And then there's Magic to clean it up, take it down Cadilli. That was so well done from Draco, but I think it's all going to be for naught, to be honest. As Scouty taking down Mig, Scuba Steve actually cleaning up big time here, but no one's going to be able to get on the point in time, so it was all for naught anyway, and we are going to reset for a third mid with no score on the board here, TC.
We are indeed. I think that was Scuba Steve was a rocket jump away from the point. I think they beefed their rocket jump a little bit, and
Yeah.
because of that, weren't able to connect. Unfortunate there because they would have had uber advantage. I think after all of that had settled, but like you said, another round, another mid, but no points on the board, nothing scored yet. So definitely close between these two teams here on Metalworks. However, FGP have been able to get the mid both times so far, so we're gonna have to see if it goes on for a third. Looks like they're just going to be playing the right side, going to be trying to spam all of the enemy gamers out of mid ideally, but it's just kind of a war attrition at the moment. Who has the better high ground? We do see Frosty making a play onto Lunchbox, so now that's going to open things up. Looks like he's going to be wrapping away through, going to be able to take down Mig. It was Fritby trying to bomb in and maybe salvage things up, but wasn't going to happen. Frosty now just being able to stay alive. No, Darty comes in, cleans him up, but that doesn't stop FGP for winning another mid and getting onto second here, guys.
The mids have been looking dynamite from FGP. That's 3 in a row for them. And yeah, just really well done. Both teams, though, keeping the meds alive. Rome getting set up on last year. And for a moment, I saw a sniper up on somebody. I thought it was maybe Scouty for a minute, but oh no, Frosty. Oh, what is this? The double? No. Okay, I'm live watching the classes change over on the HUD. It was like spy, sniper, spy, sniper, and now we're just with Scouty sniper. So VO this time looks like either is coming up spy, probably just scouting, maybe on the side of Rome to see what off classes they're running. So Scouty sniper is going to be the play here out of FGP.
Yeah, and that is going to be Mig taken down to some stickies from Draco. So that's going to definitely open things up. There's going to be less people trying to defend, and with Scuba Steve going down, the sentry gun going down, now it's going to be an opening for FGP to just walk in here. Frosty getting a nice bomb off. That's going to be a headshot off onto Gedilly from Scouty, dropping the medic. And with all that happening, that's going to be the first round after 3 mids going for FGP.
Oh, man. Brilliant stuff. It was a stalemate for the longest time, but Scouty coming in big. The rest of FGP following up, and we are going to go now into our 4th mid. We'll see if the trend continues of FGP just kind of cleaning house on these mids. But it is a 1-0 score now. FGP in the lead. Finally breaking the ice here. 15 minutes into the map. And we'll see now high bombs coming out from Rome this time. They want to go aggressive, trying to get on Rave. 1 good rocket, 2 good rockets from Scuba Steve. He's actually going to find 2 players on that one, taking down Magic as well. Frags, though, coming in on the other side. Rome actually ends up kind of wiping out here. Scouty is trying to finish off VO, and that's actually going to be Draco who gets the final pipe in the end to take down VO. What a crazy mid, but FGP is going to win it yet again.
Yeah, some excellent pipes from Draco there. Good stuff as well from Rome. I mean, they did lose another mid, but at least this time they were able to get on to Rave, you know, sending in the double soldier bomb, recognizing that maybe playing a bit passively wasn't working out for them. But neither did aggression. But I think at that point just kind of came down to a DM fight that they unfortunately lost. But great stuff from FGP, once again, taking a 4th round, a 4th mid, sorry, in this game. But I do believe we have a pause here, Gex, as a, you know, this is 90 seconds in the future. We don't quite know, but maybe, this is just my assumption, is that maybe FGP wins this round, and this is a tactical pause from Rome in response. That's what I'd like to believe, because otherwise we just have a technical error from someone, and that's always not as a good, you know.
It's not fun. It's not fun. I hope that's not the case. And if you're watching on your screen right now, you're seeing inside the skull of Rave AC himself. It's kind of frightening me a little bit. Okay, oh no, yeah, he's going back in. But yes. So hopefully there's no technical issues here, and everyone's good. Maybe just maybe attack pause, or like you said, maybe a you know, maybe it was an FGP round. Who knows? And they do have advantage in this situation here. Not by much. It's, what, like 13%. So not sure if they can really do much off the back of that. But, I mean, it's been a good win so far, TC. I wasn't quite sure what to expect coming into this map, right? Because, you know, Rome didn't really have many good results on this map this year. If anything, it was many would consider it quite bad for them, losing twice on this map, 5-0, and going 4-3 against the government on this map in the regular season. So it, it was an interesting pick. I didn't know how it was going to go coming into it. FGP hadn't played this in an official all season either, so we didn't really have much to look at, in terms of reconnaissance other than like scrims, I suppose. So I felt like this was anyone's game, and it really still feels like it's anyone's game at this point. FGP's up 1-0, but it's been incredibly close thus far, and I think Rome certainly still has the room to turn this one around.
I 100% agree with you. It has been incredibly close, and I guess fairly interesting that Rome did end up picking it, all things considered. But like I said, maybe they just thought that out of the 5 CP maps, it was one that they had played before. FGP hadn't, and also it's not a super sniper happy map. We have seen some sniper just because it is Scouty. They are gonna employ him when you have a player of that caliber. You're just not gonna say no sniper. You're gonna put him on sniper when you can. But it doesn't lend itself to sniper as something like process or product would. So I can understand it from there, but it seems to be that the big thing for them is just the mids. They've lost 4 mids in a row as we do go live here, and it's kind of actually a testament to them that it's only 1-0 because when you're losing that many mids, it's very hard to get back into the game, and that's going to be something that Rome have to try and fix if they want to try and start getting some points on the board. We do see a big soldier bomb from Throne getting in. Actually gets Gadilli. He gets Gadilli.
What?
How?
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine. That is a massive pick, though, for FGP. Everything's in their favor now. They've got, the massive full Uber ad. The spawns are still down. They should just start taking this in now, and it looks like that is exactly what they're doing as they start to go through Valley. The rest of Rome really is nowhere to be found. Frisbee is going to come in and try and make something happen. Might actually do it. Oh, man, he was a quarter of a second off of getting another rocket off there and maybe getting the force, but that is going to be FGP now with full advantage to push into last with.
Yeah, this is going to be full ad, and this is hopefully an opportunity for them to get another round on the board. But if you're Rome, definitely still doable as the Uber does come in. Going to be leading it in on Draco, taking the Uber charge. Does get Flash Magic, taking down the Sentry Gun. No picks just quite yet. No point time either. So definitely holdable for the side of Rome. Oh, a nice shot, actually, I think, from Throne. But it doesn't matter as everyone is just falling on Rome. Frosty with the pick. Going to be taking down Mig. And yeah, that's where the pause was. Just the late recollapse from FGP. The Uber got the space, and then with the space, they were able to collapse on Rome, who were all just kind of coddled up by that area by spawn gecks.
TC, you called it. You called it. The absolute mega mind 5-head brain on this guy here. Insane. Well, as you said, at FGP, up 2-0 now, starting to run away with it. That was like a 4-minute round in comparison to the 15-minute round that we had to start things off. So let's see if Rome has any more success on this mid, and so far it is just not working in their way. Draco taken down 2, ends up falling, but Scouty, Frosty, the rest of the squad cleaning up, but some return frags coming out in favor of Rome as well. Frosty and Throne gonna clean up as well, but in the end it is in another FGP mid here. They have just been dominating it so far, and Gadilli falls, so they're gonna have huge advantage once again.
They are indeed, and if you're Rome, you gotta be worried a little bit because, the first 2 rounds, sure, FGP won, but you were able to hold them off. You were able to kind of nullify that inherent advantage you get when you win the mid, and they kind of send it back. But now FGP have been able to convert these past 2 rounds, making it a 2-0 game, and especially considering this is your map pick. This is Rome's map pick, the map they thought they had the best chance of winning on. It doesn't look that good when you're starting to lose these mids that dominantly, as we do see Frisbee try and go for a sacrifice play onto Rave. Isn't going to happen. Still a bit of Uber ad for this FGP squad. Looks like they want to try and take it in super aggressively here, gecks, even though Gadilli is closing in on their own Uber.
They came out that left side. Magic just sitting on the point. The bomb comes in from Scuba Steve. Finally probably end up falling. Yes, will, but Rome now with the counter pop coming out. Let's see if they can make anything happen with it. Maybe clear them out for a second. Does FGP decide to stick around? And it looks like they will. Frosty bombing in, the whole squad, nuking them off the face of the earth. And now FGP is going up 3-0 here, starting to completely run away with map 1.
They are. It's just that, I was saying, the past 2 rounds, right, Rome did good by keeping Gadilli alive in those past few mids, and I think what's the difference here is that they've been able to get onto Gadilli without losing Rave, and FGP are good enough that they're able to convert those uber advantage pushes onto last. And when the team is doing that, it's just really hard to get back into the game. It really all starts with these mids for Rome, and taking down Draco is a great way to start it. Mig with some well-placed stickies and well-placed spam as well from the soldiers, and because of that, that's just gonna be FGP immediately out of mid, going back to second, recognizing that they don't want to lose anyone else, and try and mount some type of defense on second. But Rome already trying to press the advantage through Valley here, gecks.
6th time is the charm for Rome to win a mid. And now, yes, as you said it, they're trying to come through Valley. Frosty in with a big bomb, and now FGP is starting to bleed off players a little bit. They got to be careful. Throne might fall as well in that 1v1 to Scuba Steve, both incredibly low, but they both make it out alive. And now do they decide to push the issue on the side of Rome, try and get a little bit of momentum back in their favor? They're chipping, they're poking a little bit. Both sides have Uber. Oh, Rave gets dropped. How? To the pipe of Mig. I genuinely don't know what the hell just happened there. And now they're going to just use in Rome. This is certainly the best opportunity that they've had to get around so far. They're standing on the point, and there we go. Finally in the game is Rome. It's still 3-1 for FGP, but Rome finally getting on the board.
Yes, and that is exactly what Rome needed. They were able to win the mid, and they were able to just steamroll off of that. Yeah, really great pipe, I guess, from Mig. I think he was just spamming over by Shutter and was able to connect one onto Rave, unfortunately for him, but great stuff from Rome, taking that round super quickly in response to the 3 rounds that FGP have stacked. It's still FGP in the lead, but Rome showing a bit more signs of life. We're gonna have to see if they're gonna be able to do a repeat performance on this mid. Last time it was Draco going down fairly early. Frosty going in for a big bomb, is gonna be able to stay alive, but the first one that falls is gonna be Scuba Steve trying to go for their own bomb, but Magic gonna be able to clean them up. And now looks like Rome still want to try and stay in here. They do have a little bit of high ground presence, but without that soldier, it's going to be that much harder to initiate. And you see Mig just taking so much damage. The spam is just a little bit better from the side of FGP, probably because they still have both their soldiers up and alive. Throne and Frosty getting those last 2 picks. That's going to be Vio taken down. And with 2 down, a demo down, it's going to be so hard for Rome to hold this. I think they are just going to fall back to their last once again.
Like Scuba, though. Oh, at first he was going to go out lower, see if he could make a play. Oh, and then ends up getting caught in lobby. That's not what you want to see. Very unfortunate. Darty ends up going down as well. This is a disaster for Rome. Now 2-player advantage on the side of FGP. Do they do anything? Frisbee ends up going down as well. Players dropping left and right, and now they're getting it on Mig. Mig falls, and the Uber is still up on the side of Gadilli, finally using it. They can't drop anymore at this point, basically. And now the counter Uber comes out. But surely FGP is going to take this round. Bodies dropping left and right. FGP picking up the round. It's now 4-1.
I mean, that was just expert stuff from FGP. I mean, winning the mid, which they did very well, but the key thing was they were able to keep up the pressure on Rome consistently through that round. They were doing it on second with that first initial pick on the Scuba Steve. And with that pick, they were able to get a pick on Darty. Then they can start to poke and pressure last. And a key thing was they didn't lose anyone while doing that, even though they hadn't even capped up second yet. So really, really great team playing coordination from FGP. Their focus fire working out well, but Rome, we've seen them win a mid before, so we know they can do it again. Question is, are they going to be able to come alive on this round? And if they don't, that's going to be the first map gone in the favor of FGP. Looks like FGP have a bit of ground, but Scuba Steve coming out of Lunchbox is going to be able to trade out for Frosty. A little bit of chaos either way. Looks like Rome wants to try and get aggressive here, and taking down Magic's a great way to do it. Frisbee going in super deep is not going to find enough damage to get onto Rave, who is trying to escape. Is maybe going to be able to, is just going to have to leave everyone in behind. Now's the question, can Darty get on the Rave? Yes, he can, and that is going to be a well-needed and earned mid for the side of Rome.
Oh, that really was needed. I mean, they're on the ropes here. It's 4-1. Can't really make any more mistakes at this point. Rome. So they come out with a big mid just when they needed it. It's exactly what the doctor ordered. Now they're going to cap up second. They've got a full advantage to work with, and the full off-class squad coming out. Well, two off classes coming in for FGP here. They got Scouty up on Pyro and Magic up on the NG to try and lock this one down. Scouty smart, playing up close to try and deny the Uber. He doesn't know where they're coming out of, and they're coming out of the right side. He didn't pick right, unfortunately. And Frosty is going to be the first to fall as Uber gets used on the side of Rome. The gun goes down as well, but still only one frag. Scouty falls, Throne falls, Rave down. This is surely gonna be a round win for Rome here, as Magic is the last bastion of hope, but he will end up falling as well. Rome getting themselves another round on the board here. It's 4-2. A lot of work still to be done from Rome if they want to get back in this.
Yes, a lot of work indeed. The good thing for Rome is that those past 2 rounds that they won, they were Uber ad pushes on to last, and when you have those being executed well, which it seems Rome are able to do, that gives you a little bit of confidence knowing that once you get in that situation, you're able to execute and convert the round. So the question is, are they going to be able to do as well on these mids as they have been in their last pushes? That's going to be the real thing that's going to might stop them from getting this first map. Is this time we don't see any super immediate initiation from any of the soldiers. As I say, that's going to be Frisbee trying to go in, does do a lot of damage, but a nice arrows can keep Draco well and alive. Now Frosty going in is going to draw so many eyes, but because of that, that's going to be all the space succeeded over to FGP. Now looks like Rome maybe want to try and fight this. They're just peeking it a little bit. They are going to be able to get through that initial doorway from Valley. Scouty going down super low, but it's going to be Vio taken down. And now Rome, they do have the high ground, but they don't have the player ad. Actually, no, it looks like they are going to have the faster spawners, and that is going to be a very scrappy, but one mid for Rome.
It was at a certain point there, at first it looked like FGP was going to win that, and then Rome got their players back in. As you said, the spawns came in, and the health was just not great on the side of FGP. They capitalized, the soldiers bombed, got the picks that they needed, and ended up securing the mid. Now Rome looking to press the issue as they were trying to come in through Valley, but at the same time, a couple players from FGP push into lobby, find themselves a kill onto Frisbee. So now Rome is forced to back up a bit, and they're actually back on mid. At first it looked like they were going to hightail it into lobby as well, but FGP looking to find an angle maybe to get back in here. Throne going aggressive, lands on the pack, and jumps out immediately. So I don't think they're going to get much with this here. They're just, you know, falling all the way back to second at this point. Precarious for both teams, but now it looks like Rome trying to figure out how they want to attack this next point. It looks like Valley might be the play.
That seems to be what they are opting to do to try and break this. And now that's going to be the soldier sacking in. Scuba Steve opting not to land on the medic. Maybe trying to get a pick before they fell, but not going to happen. A few weak players on the side of... Oh! Frosty with a big play on the Gadilli. He's going to be able to take him down. A big nuke is going to be able to take down Darty as well. Frosty coming up so huge. There's so many. Everyone is just weak on the side of Rome. No one dying aside from Frosty. That was massive immediately with the counter sack. Just coming up so huge for his team. And at this point, this is FGP's round to lose. They got big old Uber ad gecks. There's no one on second really to stop them. Just a lurking Scuba Steve on Spy, though, which might cause them some trouble.
That was huge. What a flank. Heads up play. Knew everybody was coming forward, most of them through Valley, and just came straight into lobby. Let's see if Scuba Steve can get it done. I think they've already spotted him. Yeah, the plot has been foiled. He's just crouched walking around out there. He's still alive. That's hilarious. Oh, he managed to live, but they know he's out there, just lurking around. And I think FGP knows that they have the advantage here in players and an Uber, and they're just going to go ahead and take this in while the Spy is still up. Gadilli ends up going down. Frosty finds that one, so they have the heals as well. Everything looking really good for FGP at this point. Frisbee ends up going down, and they still have the heals. Oh, the Draco ends up falling, though. The Scuba Steve Spy ended up making a play at some point here. They just got to maybe start getting on the point. But Mig is still alive, just placing all those stickies down. Who's going to come out on top of this? They got to keep the heals on Magic. Can he go huge here? No, he couldn't, but can Rave? Rave coming up huge! Can you believe it? What a way to end the map! Oh my god! FGP coming up big. Rave AC, the savior, of the day. What a way to end that map. 5-2. FGP is going to take map 1.
That was crazy. You know, I'm not gonna lie, Gex, I kinda questioned staying in as long as FGP did because, you know, they had Uber ad, to work with considering they were able to take down Gadilli early in that fight. I think it was Frosty who did that, and, you know, they could have come back with the refight and try again, and then especially when that was like a 2 or 3v, 1, you know, just magic with the beam. He was able to take down 2 of them, but, you know, Darty was able to clean him up in the end, and then Rave staying in there just making the medic play with the head, coming up so clutch for his team. And I mean, he also should have died there because there were spawners right next to it, but they weren't able to get the lock on him, weren't able to get to the point in time. And that's going to be the first map going 5-2 for FGP on Rome's map pick.
That was crazy, dude. TC, I'm sweating right now. I'm sweating. I'm probably sweating more than these players. That was, oh man, what a bonkers round. Man, yeah. Well, there you have it. I mean, FGP going up 1-0 here in this best of 3. This was Rome's map pick. You know, when I saw it, when I was looking into this matchup just a bit ago, I was like, ah man, weird, like strange map pick, see if it plays off. As you said, maybe trying to shut down the Scouty Sniper, which really didn't even end up being that big of a factor in this match anyway. You know, at points maybe, but still overall, the play from FGP has just been so coordinated, so well calculated across the board. Like they are just playing really well right now. So hats off to them. I mean, what a first map. And now we head into Process, which is, you know, arguably FGP's best map. So, you know, things looking really good for them right now.
Yeah, things are looking really good. We can take a little quick look at the logs, and as we pull those up, just, you know, shout outs. You know, we do have merch for both of these teams. We got some great goodies for the Rome squad, and also we got the stickers for FGP. You can also do a little giveaway for the folks in chat as well. So check that out. But as we look at these logs, Gex, first thing that sticks out to me is that the demos, you know, they were able to stay alive and they were doing damage. You know, which is always great to see. That's going to be Draco, top damaging the server at 290. And then the other thing that stands out to me is always like the two initial things you talk about: who did the most damage and which medic didn't die as much, and that's going to be Rave, only dying 5 times to Gadilli's 11. And so I think that speaks a lot to kind of the flank players and the soldier players from the side of SGP being able to get in with those bombs, with those kind of rat plays, and get on to Gadilli and take him down.
Yeah, really doing a good job of putting pressure on Gadilli. As you said, the rat plays, like, just it was very tough for Rome to deal with, and that shows in the stats here. And another interesting one to me is, well, I mean, the scout pairing, I guess I should say, from FGP, really solid here across the board. You know, surprisingly, Scouty was like top fragger in both maps the other night when they played against the government. Magic really pulling out a lot here as well. 237 DPM, 24 frags, top fragged on the server. So Magic really playing well here alongside Scouty. Like, just to me, it feels like everybody from FGP firing on just all cylinders right now. They've been playing so good recently. Like, they're having the late glow up here. Like, you know, all year it was, or all season was a bit of a struggle for them, and now they are just playing at their best. And especially against your former teammate in Darty, I mean, that's got to feel good, right? Taking map 1, their map pick, going 5-2 nonetheless. Like a pretty good overall win for them. You know, it's got to feel good for FGP right now. They're sitting in the driver's seat. They're going into what I would say is probably their best map, and I think they would feel the same about it. They, you know, got to feel good, but now is not the time to get complacent, certainly.
Yes, you know, it's great to win that first map, especially because it was the enemy team's map pick, and you're going on to something that you feel very comfortable on. But you still have to make sure that you still put, you know, the pressure up, and you don't give them any chances, because Rome are definitely able to come back into this if FGP start making mistakes and get a bit too content with how things are happening at the moment. And they, you know, One thing I am gonna be interested to see is, are we gonna see Viscouty sniper to mid? We saw it last time, Gex. I think on the first mid, on process, he was just instantly rocking up on the sniper class. I know we'll see it during the course of his game. Question is how quickly, and I think it might be on the initial rollout.
I
Um,
mean, the FGP's feeling good right now, I think, right? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to break that out just on the first mid, going to mid with it. I mean, it's something that they obviously like to do on this map. Jay, I believe they were saying, was someone that was helping like mentor and like do demo reviews, like VOD reviews with them. He's another one that has done that quite a bit as well. One of the pioneers of doing sniper to mid. So I wouldn't be surprised if this comes out here. FGP's playing good, feeling good. Who knows? But this really is like their best map. In case you weren't here earlier, when we talked about this a little bit, this in the regular season, FGP only got one win, and that was against GCI, and it was on this map. And this has been like kind of a staple map for them, trying to get it in their matches as much as possible, scrimming, like the whole bit. It's like a bread and butter for them. So I would expect, if I were a predicting kind of guy, a betting man, I would take FGP on this map. It just feels right. And they're playing so good tonight. We'll see what happens. I mean, maybe we'll see some more craziness and Rome comes back here, but FGP firing on all cylinders. TC, I mean, what are you thinking? Which way? FGP, Rome for this map?
I'm also not a betting man. Because the last time I had the opportunity to at the Las Vegas airport, which they have casino, like they have slot machines in the airport, which is
It's a
crazy.
disgusting place.
It really is. Um, but yeah, last time I was there, I did not want to because I felt I was just gonna lose all of my pocket money. Um, I would still go for with FGP. I think they've got the what is it? They've got the momentum. This is their map pick as well. They got to be feeling comfortable, considering all that happened on Metalworks. And I think the real key thing is, are they going to be able to be as dominant as they were on the mids? Whether that's with Scouty going to mid as sniper or coming to mid as scout, either or, whichever works out for them. If they're able to feel confident on the mids, they've already shown that they're able to convert that into rounds, assuming that their last pushes go well. And that might have to be the saving grace for Rome if all else fails. You can do a lot in a game just by having some really solid last pushes and just kind of forcing it into a battle of attrition. But I think if that is going to happen, it is going to have to come down to the soldiers. I'd like to see a bit more from Frisbee and Scuba Steve. I feel like they were maybe getting shut down a little bit, like you said,
Hmm.
from the scouts, Scouty and Magic. I think we're just having a wonderful time just kind of running around shooting the soldiers. So yeah, I think Frisbee and Scuba Steve are maybe the people to watch if Rome are going to be able to get back in here.
And this is certainly a map that they could do it on. We'll see. We'll see if they can have a bit more of an impact. I agree with you. I felt a lot of the plays they were going for in that first map just didn't work out. It was just a little lackluster across the board. And if there were ever a time to turn it around, this would be it. Because as a reminder, again, if you weren't here at the beginning, this is a pretty pivotal match when it comes to seeding for playoffs, right? We're in stage 2 and we're in these seeding brackets, and all these matches are very, very important to determine your seeding as we go into the playoffs, right? So right now the government is sitting down at they're going to be last seed going into playoffs. Loser of this match gets 7th seed in playoffs. So you do not want to lose this match. Conversely, if you win, then you have the opportunity to get as high as 3rd seed. You continue on to
Yes.
like another mini bracket. So it's like you could go, as low as 6th if you win this match, but you have the opportunity to get all the way up to 3rd seed and make put yourself in a little bit better of a position as we go into that playoff picture and playoff season. So very, very important to win this one. Set yourself up for success as you move forward in playoffs. So, and right now Rome is on the ropes. It's looking like they could end up in that 7th seed position, but anything can happen. So we'll see. And if we need it, a third and final map, if we need it, will be Granary, which to me that one is just a complete toss up. Both of
Yeah.
these teams have barely played it this season, like at all. So who knows what's going to happen there if we end up getting to that point.
Yeah, it would be interesting just to see how Granary unfolds because I think it's such a wild card map pick for all of these teams, considering that, even though Rome has a bit more experience in Invite, and I wouldn't say either of them are kind of like old guards of Invite. All of them are fairly new to the scene in that respect. So Granary usually a map that favors a bit older players. But we are going live on Process, which is going to be the second map of the best of 3. FGP winning the first. Now, are they going to be able to do it on the second, or are Rome going to take us to that Granary third map? We are going to have to see, as it looks like we're just having a fairly slow, as I say that, Scuba Steve going in for a big bomb, gets some nice damage off onto Rave. Looks like the recollapse from Frisbee jumping around. They haven't been able to find Rave just quite yet, who should be able to get out. But yeah, as you say, Frosty is going to be able to take down Gadilly. Really crucial bomb from him, because now Rave can just back out with the help of his scout completely for free, not have to worry about staying in there. Gonna have a big old Uber ad. Magic is a maybe. Looks like they actually maybe want to try and get back in here, Gex, just a little bit.
It sure looks like it. Soldier flying in as well. That is thrown, and Frisbee on about half health. He's far too low, and no, overstayed his welcome inside the mid. Will end up getting taken down by Throne after all the back and forth. FGP is going to pick up this midpoint. They have a lot of advantage to work with off of the great plays from the soldiers on the side of FGP as well. About 50% advantage as they start to work their way out of sewer and Al-Qaeda and trying to work forward. Rome is holding presence. A big bomb coming in from Scuba Steve, but yet again getting denied. Magic doing a great job staying in the pocket, protecting his medic. Rave lives, but that Uber ad is dwindling. They have done a pretty good job of cutting down on some of this time here to stop the full ad push, and now Gadilly is up on it. The question is, does FGP know it? And I think they do.
Yes, I think they do know it, as looks like they're just going to be trying to now figure out how they want to sack in onto lobby. I think also from that sack from Scuba Steve, someone hit an air shot onto him. I think it was like an air sticky from Draco. I could be incorrect, but either way, that was insane speed from Scuba Steve. Unfortunately, not able to find anything, and because of that, Rome sitting on their last VO up on the sniper. Scouty hasn't died just quite yet, so he hasn't had a chance to get onto sniper himself, but you can almost feel that as soon as the sack comes down from FGP, Scouty gonna go right up on that sniper class. It looks like they're maybe just trying to spam out the sentry gun, but this guy should be thrown, who's taken down, but he does get the force onto Gadilly, so it's gonna be well worth it.
Great play. I looked away for a second to type "why duck ass" in chat, and I turned back over and I see Throne bombing in and just getting the force. That was fantastic. The soldier plays continuing to pay dividends here for FGP as we go into map number 2, and now they have a huge advantage to work with. The heavy is now up on the side of VO. We've got Darty, who's been up on engineer. He's got the level 3 gun up over on that right side as the blue team starts to push in. They will make quick work of that gun, getting a lot of spam into the heavy, a lot of damage. Heavy still has yet to go down, somehow keeping them alive. Great work from Gadilly to keep that heavy up this whole time, and the push is thwarted, it seems. VO takes down Frosty, running the Brass Bees too. Shout out. Scuba Steve back in lobby, fighting it out with Scouty. There's still scrapping going on left and right here. FGP's re-pushing back in. 3 players down on each side. FGP just gets on the point, and they will end up winning the first round, starting off strong, continuing over their dominance from map 1.
Yeah, that was a very scrappy fight. It was definitely possible for Rome to have held that, considering how long that heavy did stay up and alive, and it seemed like they were able to get out from the spawns, but clearly they weren't able to make it to the point in time. Really great stuff from FGP, just playing the point and getting that essential cap time as we go on to the second mid. FGP taking an early lead in the second map. Question is, are they going to be able to get another good mid? It's going to be Frosty going in for a big bomb, not going to be able to find much of anything. That's going to be Draco taken down as well. Now Frisbee just bombing around to make some space, and that is going to be a mid one from the side of Rome. Looks like they just want to see if they can maybe get onto these FGP players who are still hanging around by Choke. It looks like they maybe want to try and refight this. They're so aggressive here, Gex.
It's ballsy. It's certainly ballsy. They are hanging around there. Ooh, big rocket though. Oh yeah, Magic took a rocket, then a pipe. Oh, not looking good. Yeah, they definitely got to get out now. Run, Scouty, run. as now Rome looking to push in as they have that 2-player advantage. Ubers are even. We'll see if FGP decide to hold their ground, though. Mig getting in a bit ahead of the combo.
Frosty!
And, oh, what? Frosty! Huge! Massive from Frosty! I can't believe it. They Rome like got discombobulated. Their demo was in, med was out, and Frosty just ignored the demo that was sitting there out in the open, free for a pick, and just went straight in for the med. Did not care. Went right in for it, and a massive pick it was. We are going to end up in a fairly even Uber situation, but FGP get to claw themselves out of second and recap mid here.
Interestingly enough, the first sniper we see outside of Last is actually going to be for Rome. It's going to be Darty. And, you know, he's a very good sniper in his own right. And he has made his presence known with that first shot. They would have heard it, and now they can play accordingly, you know, not try and get into those sight lines and give Darty an easier time than they would like to. So the question is, how do FGP want to try and sack here, knowing there's a sniper up on the field? They could opt, you know, to actually they're just gonna be going in. They recognize they have a tiny bit of Uber, but Gedelia is so close to almost getting themselves. Maybe just kind of recognizing that without the extra scout there, they could get in a bit freer, but now the counter Uber comes in from Rome. They're cleaning up on all of these FGP players. It's only gonna be Magic left alive as I say that. Scouty does come in from behind. A big bomb coming in from Throne is gonna do a lot of damage. Can Scouty clean it up? Is trying to get onto Gedilli. Gonna be able to stay alive. Magic a little bit too late to the party. Gedilli staying alive with the help of Vio. That was a hell of a scrappy fight there, Gex. But I think we can say at the end of it, Rome gonna have Uber Ad to work with in on to mid here as they're going through the chokes now.
A lot of the reason, too, for them having Ad in that situation was because of Frisbee. He made a huge play, got behind, and just re-collapsed on them in choke, took down Draco and Rave, both that were just sitting inside the choke. Really, really good. I'm not sure how it was that he got behind, but really, really great stuff coming out from Frisbee. And that's what we've wanted to see out of the soldiers on the side of Rome, right? Like, they didn't have a ton of impact in map 1, but plays like that are starting to turn things around for them a bit here, and they have Ad. It's not a ton, but they are coming in through one. Can they catch Rave? Absolutely. Great stickies coming out from Mig to cut off the walking path. Got caught by himself was Rave, and now a fantastic opportunity for them to get themselves back in this game, Rome. They're all posted up over by rollout for the time being. Scouty coming up on Pyro. The gun is up as well. It's just a level 1. Draco ends up hitting a pipe on Frisbee. Frosty over by the point. Very, very low health. Manages to stay alive. They look like they want to re-push this here. Rome is going to use the Uber in now. Finally, they will end up using that. Scouty's still alive, trying to keep things off of the point. And honestly, FGP doing a good job of holding down the fort here. Somehow, I'm not sure really what happened there. Rome just kind of never really committed fully to anything on that fight, it felt like. And Scuba Steve is actually in. He made it all the way into last. He's drawing eyes left and right. What the hell is going on here? Ends up going down. And now do we see the rest of Rome come in? No, they're going to sit there out at second. And now FGP has a bit of Uber advantage.
Yeah, it seemed like Rome were just kind of content to play the left side of the point, and they didn't really go over to the right, which is where basically everyone on FGP were. They were just kind of hanging out by 1 and 2 instead, and because of that, FGP were able to heal up their players. They were able to get in and out of resub essentially for free. They had to, you know, dodge a little bit of spam, but it was just a fight dragged out for a bit too long from the side of Rome. And whenever that happens, it usually always kind of favors the defenders because they have those. A nice pick from Draco onto Darty, but they have that insta full heal resub available, so they can usually fight out those longer fights a little bit better. As now looks like we do see FGP maybe want to try to push second. Well, not push, but just peek a little bit. They do have Scouty up on the sniper just to see if they can maybe get him a good angle. That's going to be an angle on the Scuba Steve, opening things up. Darty has gone up onto Spy, has committed to it, working their way through IT. So the question is, even if this push, and yeah, Scouty hitting the shots, even if this push comes
Throne's
out,
behind.
Can Darty get in onto last? Yeah, Throne is behind. Oh,
what? Darty gets the kill on to Draco. Throne came in from behind. Can he find Gedilli? Got one rocket, but tried to get out. Scuba ended up taking care of him. And chat calling it out, that last push was 2 Ubers. That fight lasted so long. They used 2 Ubers across that entire fight and still couldn't cap last roam. And now they're going to try for it yet again. Both sides have Uber here. Throne is down. The Uber gets used, though, on the side of FGP. Not great. If you're them, Darty's still up on the spy on the side of Roam, but now you have a full advantage if you're Roam, and they are looking to come in here as they will start off this Uber push. And oh, Darty just waiting at spawn, took down Magic right away, who was up on the heavy, and that is a big play. But Frosty coming in with a big bomb is going to take down Gadilli. Scouty up on the Pyro. FGP still holding somewhat strong here. Scouty sending Frisbee to the skybox, into the ceiling. Can Draco lock this down? Takes down one. Theo Draco goes huge. Defending last for FGP. You've got to be kidding me. What a play from FGP. They lock it down yet again. Oh my goodness, TC. I can't breathe. This is crazy.
That is crazy. Expert pyro work as well from Scouty there, and Draco with some solid defense. Frosty with a big bomb is going to be able to get behind and draw a lot of eyes. There's only 30 seconds left on the clock before we head to a round reset. So even though Rome have been able to get onto second here, they got to go quick if they want to try and capture this last before we head to another mid fight, as it looks like they are going to be flying in through 5. 2 players already down on the side of FGP, so a lot better for the side of Rome than they've started. Rave going down as well, and now this is probably the best opportunity that Rome have had so far in this game to get a point, but some great damage coming out from FGP. Looks like they might be able to do it again. Only 1 player up and alive. It's going to be the 2. They fall instantly, and that's going to be another last hold held for the side of FGP. 4 in a row, 2 with Ubers on the same push. That's phenomenal.
Oh my god. My poor heart. I can't take it. This is crazy. Oh my god. I'm going to have to ask somebody this question again at the end of this match. We'll see like if it's like what is going on with these pushes. These feel like just really solid defenses for the most part for FGP, maybe a bit of beef on the side of Rome, but oh my god, what a just crazy play. We're back into another mid. We're only 1 round in, folks. I feel like I've been here for a lifetime. Frisbee in with a big bomb right off the bat. Rave, no, ends up going down. He dies to fall damage from Frisbee, but the counter bomb comes in onto Gadilli. Can Draco make something happen and take down Gadilli? No, he couldn't make it happen, and barely surviving is Gadilli. They will have that massive advantage. FGP threw everything, including the kitchen sink at him, but oh my goodness. There we go. Rome, they're going to get the mid.
Yeah, Scouting getting a little 2K before falling there. Not able to get onto the Metsu. Gadilli still going to have a big Uber ad to work with onto second, and then eventually last if Rome plays this optimally. Scouty already up on Sniper is probably going to be posted up by 2 to just get that massive sightline in onto Rome and maybe try and get a cheeky pick onto anyone peeking him. Rome have an opportunity, and looks like they recognize that. They hear the sniper. They're going to be going through IT just to protect themselves and maybe not have to drop here or use. Actually, no, they do use. They are going to get 1 for their troubles. Question is, can they get any more? Looks like they're just barreling in through lobby, maybe just trying to get a little bit onto last. I don't think they're going to find anything. As I say that, that's going to be Frisbee going in, does take down Scouty. The sniper is going to be able to get the force, and he's going to be able to stay alive, Gex.
Oi, oi, oi. Scouty goes down, and now here comes the rest of Rome. They're looking to collapse, pounce on this opportunity to get themselves into this game finally. But no, they're just getting obliterated. Draco coming up with 3 kills on the last point, absolutely locking it down. And FGP is going to hold strong once again.
I feel like every time Rome have a really great opportunity to get on to last. I mean, like the past few times, it's not like it was just an Uber ad situation. They had player ad as well, and they still have not been able to convert. It's usually just a really great bomb from one of his soldiers, Frosty or Throne, and then Draco just coming up so clutch with those stickies and those pipes a lot of the time, just being able to clutch out for the squad. And they aren't out of the woods just quite yet, because this can be Rome using their Uber in. They are going to catch one in the side of Magic. They're going to find both scouts, actually. Scouty falling by Loper Lobby. Frisbee going in super deep, just trying to see if they could get on to Rave, but that's not going to happen. But immediately Rome want to again try and see if they can get onto this last Gex.
They're trying. They're certainly trying. Great rockets from Throne. He hit 2 fat directs onto Darty, who is coming into point, and shuts it down. Draco again taking down Vio. They just have it on lock. Last, you may not enter, says FGP. They have just been locking it down, and now they have 50% advantage. Rome hanging out in choke, but they know they're at the disad, so they are going to back it up. But man, FGP has just been steadfast on last.
And they have been. Vio is up on Sniper at the moment, just trying to see if they can maybe get a shot off onto a walking Rave. But looks like they are going to get a shot off onto Magic, but that's going to be 2 still taken down from the side of Rome. So they have maybe bought enough time for Gadilli to get their own Uber, and they might be just trying to see how long they can keep hold onto second. Maybe they can keep it completely if they're able to stuff these doorways just enough. But FGP going to be barreling their soldiers in. Frosty going instantly onto the Sniper, recognizing the assignment, but that's going to be thrown onto Gadilli, recognizing the other assignment, getting the medic to use there, and importantly, Rave staying alive, meaning that FGP can come right back in Gex with their own Uber.
They're down an extra player, but those spawns are coming in. Everyone's on the same spawn timer right now, so they're going to be coming up. Vio on the Sniper. Let's see if they can hit a shot as they go for this push, but where do they decide to do it from? They have a little bit of extra time here, so we'll see where they decide to take it. It looks like Sewer is the call. Frosty bombing in, just getting some rockets off, trying to make a little bit of space. That advantage is starting to dwindle, though, so they're going to have to make a play soon, or it's just going to be gone. Throne went in, Frosty in as well. Oh, the bombs left and right. Frosty does take down Scuba Steve. Now the scouts walking forward with the medic. They have made the space, and they didn't need to use. That's the important part. Now Soldier comes back out. That's Frisbee, seeing if he can make a play now, but he's just going to end up falling. Now 3 players down on the side of Rome. The cap comes in, and it looks like they want to just send this straight into last, but the Uber is up now on the side of Rome, and oh no, Magic just gets nuked right off the rip from MiG, so they're going to have to back up now and reset on second.
They are going to have to reset. Both scouts taken down there, meaning that it's going to be hard for FGP to try and defend against any soldiers that bomb in, but it's actually going to be a scout who leads the charge, going to be able to take down Frosty. Draco at risk of falling as well. Really great stuff, and now that's going to be what Rome needed. They're out of their last, going to be able to get onto second. And with both meds being able to stay alive, it's still an even Uber situation. And it looks like Scouty has now gotten up onto Sniper. He's just going to be trying to rain down shots on all these people over in choke, and that's going to be the Uber used.
They're going to exchange and choke. A lot of flashes coming out on the side of Rome, though, and they just go for the solo for the most part on the side of FGP. Scouty getting a shot in the back, taking down Vio. Oh, and the kills are just coming in left and right here. Absolutely dominating them right now. Scouty going huge, and they are going to pick up 4 frags on that fight. They lose 2 for their troubles, but great plays from FGP all around. They're going to get second.
Scouty just hit a mid-air headshot onto a scout who was like right up on his face and finished him up with the SMG. Just actually amazing from him right there to get that shot. And now seems to be peeking out through rollout because both medics did either use or die there. It's going to be even. Scouty does fall on the Sniper, but not before Throne gets the return pick. And we do see that's going to be Frisbee coming in. He's able to get onto Rave. Really great timing from Frisbee there to pick up Rave, as now Rome going to be trying to push out of their last.
Oh, and Throne was there trying to see if he could catch Gadilli there for a second, but not going to happen. Magic does end up taking down MiG. Frosty actually hanging out over and roll out there. Got a couple good rockets onto Gadilli, but just couldn't quite seal the deal. And Frosty's still just like kind of man moding over on Bats here a bit, staying in the fight, keeping pressure up. And now the scout Darty is out on second. Oh no, I thought completely separated from his team for a second. Frosty overstays his welcome and does end up going down. The rest of FGP are now going to back up into mid as Rome gets this second point back.
Yeah, and Rome have a big old Uber ad to work with as they work their way in onto mid. We already see FGP immediately getting the heck out of there, just getting onto their second. They should be able to get Frosty as a spawner in the forward spawn, so now they can maybe just try and delay it long enough so Rave can get their own Uber. They're at about 85%, so definitely doable, definitely gettable. And with Scouty up on Sniper, that's just going to deter Rome from making any sudden movements, because at this point, it'd probably be better just to full send it in. But with Rave coming in on that big Uber as well, it's going to be an even situation. Darty was actually kind of hiding in IT. We have a little bit of an IT scuffle. It's going to be Vio getting the pick, actually. Frosty returns it over. Now it's going to be a lone Frisbee trying to go for the upward direct. Does hit a rocket, but not going to be able to find a kill. Now the Scouts just muscling there as well, but 2 down on either team. So basically just a wash. But actually both soldiers down for the side of FGP.
Well, let's see now. Spawn's coming back in, and Scouty's still up on that sniper. So we're in this even situation here. Scouty on the defensive sniper. This time around, not uncommon to see that out of him, certainly. So see if he can open things up with a pick here. As we're really just, we're in the waiting game right now. How does Rome approach this, you know, with that sniper up? And I mean, really, it's just going to have to be the sack play. Probably from the soldiers. We'll see Steve hanging out over in choke, waiting for his opportunity. Scouts coming in now out of IT. Here comes the full bum rush out of IT. Rave takes a good rocket, but the cleanup coming through from the side of FGP. They now have a 2-player advantage. And let's see how they want to decide to attack this now. Frosty looking ready to come out of sewer. Sniper trying to get some picks over there. Choke lands a headshot on somebody. And now the bomb coming out. There's the drop. Throne taking down Gadilli and Frisbee. Huge play from Throne on the soldier. Continuing to have impact in map 2 here. And now full advantage for FGP.
Yeah, that was just expert stuff from Throne. He made his way through IT and had the perfect timing for the bomb. Now Rome in a bit of a tricky situation. Darty on Spy might be the answer. He was able to get a good pick on the Draco last time. He was, on Spy. So he might try and do something similar again, just kind of lurking over by IT. He does decloak. Looks like he might just try and go for the easy pick on the Throne, but Throne turns around just at the right time. Scouty maybe calling that, letting his flank buddy know that there was someone on his tail, and because of it, that's going to be FGP, rocking in. Frosty goes sky high, and so does Frisbee. Frisbee being able to stay alive here, just trying to spam out FGP players for as long as they possibly can, but takes a lot of damage himself, and because of that, Rome in total are going to get back to second. They don't have Uber yet, Gex, and it looks like FGP know this, and they're going right in.
They're sending it. They're sending it. Draco got in ahead of the rest. They weren't really able to find anything with it. Mig got taken down really low. They at least got the space. They might be able to get this point, but no, I don't even think that. As Vio goes down, they did trade out. Throne ended up getting taken down by Darty, so we're in a 5v5 right now, but the full advantage on the side of Rome, and they're looking to push back out here as they're in lobby, all rushing out of lower lobby, seeing if they can catch them. Mig bombing into choke. Can he find anything? A lot of damage. Oh my god, loads of damage coming out. Mig nuking with the rest of the team supporting Rave. Still alive for now. Ends up going down though. Throne trades it out in the end, but it was just too little too late. And a great push from Rome. FGP got caught with their pants down over by Choke, or just ahead of Choke. And now they're going to get second Rome, and they should be able to get mid here as well.
Yeah, just really great Uber actually from Darty, just going in all the way. Was able to get so much with that Uber, especially Raven. Because of that, even though they are going to have slight Uber ad to work with onto second if they really want to take it super fast. But Scouty almost immediately up on the sniper, so just trying to cancel and nullify that momentum as much as he possibly can. Gonna be looking over at that choke side, just trying to make his presence known, let them know that you're not gonna be able to get on the second for free. He's got the eyes on the rock, and because of that, I think this is just gonna be Rome building up their Uber, and then maybe just trying to see how they want to sack in onto second once they get, as they it's still 1-0. Actually, no, they're just gonna be insta using it. That is very surprising considering that Rave is nearly close to getting as well, but looks like they are able to get a lot of space, a lot of weak players on FGP. They're going to find 2 for their troubles. The Soldiers coming up big, and looks like Rome might want to continue on with this.
It's time to hunker down if you're on the side of FGP. Magic swapped over to the NG. Is there really time, though? I don't think there is. They do have an Uber in the pocket, though. Scuba Steve and Darty both end up going down. The gun falls, but, I mean, really, they've already done their job by getting a couple of picks there. And they've been able to slow this up, and the rest of the spawns have come through, so they should just be able to push right back out. On the second there, the trap above Shutter. You got to check for that one, Draco. And Mig is going to be able to take him down. So now Frisbee bombing in, kind of. He feigns off right at the end. But that was a good trap above to take down Draco, because that's going to slow this push up completely. Now FGP has to just hold down on last.
Yeah, they do, and at Rome now having an opportunity to tie up the second map. We've only had 1 round so far, and it's been back and forth so far. These teams really just playing so evenly. A lot of it just kind of scrappy fights on second and last, going either which way. But now, once again, it's going to be an opportunity for Rome to try and get in onto last, which they've had a lot of opportunities to do so, Gex. We've seen at least 3 Uber ad pushes not work out, and maybe 2 kind of dry fights from them. Maybe, like you said, maybe this time is going to be the charm for them, but we are in a little bit of a pause.
We are. So, TC, you were right earlier on the cause of the pause in map 1. What is your prediction this time around?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, FGP could like go coast to coast somehow in like the next 90 seconds. It's not impossible to do. But it'd be kind of surprising considering that, how back and forth it's been. So I'm gonna say maybe it's a tech pause. I could actually see FGP pausing after this round, assuming Rome wins, because you look at the score, sure, it's only gonna be 1-1, but this has been such a hard fought round from both FGP and Rome that if you lose it, there's definitely a lot of things that you can maybe try and talk about and maybe just kind of nullify the momentum of either team that won. So I think maybe we could see a tech pause from FGP, or maybe a tech pause just from someone in general trying to get their internet issues sorted. But hopefully it's a tech pause, not a tech pause. And, these teams are kind of discussing the strats. But I mean, if you're Rome, these last pushes have kind of been the thorn in your side for so long. So many of them just not working out well. And sometimes, it's not playing the points. Sometimes it's just not getting kills. And it really just seems like it's a lack of focus fire and extremely a lack of positioning that's just been biting them out here.
Well, let's see how this one plays out, because we are out of the pause. So let's see what happens. We got 90 seconds maybe to figure out what the cause of that pause was. Maybe it was tech. I don't know. We'll see. And Frisbee comes in for the bomb, and Scouty and the Sentry making quick work of that. Scouty is up on that pyro once again. Magic hunkering down with the Sentry gun. Frosty up there in rollout, takes down Darty. So that should be, yes, a 2-player advantage now for FGP to work their way out. Throne gets through IT all the way through as well, and no one is over there, so he's going to cause a bit of a ruckus just being behind, the threat of Throne being behind. Can he make a play happen? He's in choke right now. Will a pinch come out from anybody? One good rocket actually ends up getting the force out of Gadilly, and now they're going to try and push it through that shutter, see if they can make something happen with the remaining amounts of Uber left here. Frosty ends up being a victim to Mig's stickies. And Scuba Steve all the way on the right side. Will he go down and actually ended up getting the force out of Rave? That is a huge return from Rome there to get that force. So now, well, let's see. My game bugged out for a second, but it looks like Rome is going all in on this push, and I think they're going to get it too. 2 players up. It's just the Soldiers on the side of FGP. Rome desperately needing a round here. Can they get it? Yes! Oh, my goodness. There we go. There we go. Finally, get that round on the board. 1-1.
Yeah, 1-1. It's going to be presumably a tack pause from FGP, just kind of recognizing that maybe they had an opportunity to turn that round around so many times in that game. But Rome just coming up and tying things up. Now as we go on to our technically 4th mid fight so far, could have to see how Rome adapts. Are they going to be able to keep up this momentum? As looks like they're going over onto the left side, but so much damage onto Rave is going to have to duck out into IT. No heals on the field for Rome at the moment. Rave cannot get out of IT. He's just so weak, and because of that, everyone is going to fall on the side of Rome. The last person alive is Scuba Steve, who might even have been a respawner. Gonna head all the way back to his medic, and that is another mid one for the side of FGP. Technically even Ubers, because by the time FGP get on to last, I think Rave should have been able, or sorry, Gadilli should have been able to get.
Yeah, should be in an even situation here. Rome is hunkering down. Looks like Vio up on the spy. That's probably just for recon purposes. No off classes on the side of FGP. Scouty not electing to come up sniper or anything like that. So we'll see. I have to see how they decide to take this push here into last, or this sack play, as we are down to 2 minutes left. Oh, Rave ends up going down. Vio was not just getting reconnaissance, gets a huge stab onto Rave, and that is going to be the catalyst, really, for Rome to get themselves out here as they come out. Frosty, though, with a good soldier play, is going to get the force out of Gadilli, though, and I think might even be able to make it out with his life. Scouty falls on the way out, but a good force, and they didn't have to lose too many people for it either, so that's about best case scenario there.
Yes, a really great play from Vio to get that stab on to Rave, and now they're able to work their way on to mid. A soldier bombing in, making a bit of space. That's going to be Frisbee, who is taken down, kind of disconnected from the rest of her team. The counter sack comes in from Frosty as the players get a lot of damage on the Rave. He just barely managed to stay alive. That was so close. I thought the fall damage would have taken him down, but you know who did get taken down? Gadilli on the other side of things. And once again, this is going to be big Uber ad for the side of FGP. We do have Scouty up on the spy, has committed to it. Not the ideal considering his team have Uber ad, but you know, if you can get one pick, at least one, it'll make it worth it.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this one. I mean, based on his position, I feel like he made that call a while ago, so I don't know if he was like already out by the time that he made that decision to go spy. But I mean, they have huge ad here. This is either gonna like pay off massively or really bite him in the ass. So let's see. Oh, Scouty. Oh, no, ends up falling. Okay, the Uber does come in though. From the rest of the squad. Magic falls. FGP dropping players here. Frosty incredibly low up top, ends up getting taken down as well. It's just all falling apart on the side of FGP, and Rave ends up going down at the end of it to pour salt in the wound. Darty gets him.
Throne is in one. Throne's in one.
Oh, they are. Oh, Throne's there. I think he's. Can he get it? Oh, no, just not quite. Oh, he got the pick, but got bounced off the point. Oh, great rockets coming out from the Rome soldier to bounce him off the point, saving the day. That could have been the end of it right there, but they live to fight another day.
Yes, and like you said, we are now in continuous overtime, so the next person to get a round is going to be able to walk away with the win on the second map, and that's going to be Rome using in through IT. They're able to take down Frosty, who was forcing them over by that IT area. Scouty up on Sniper, and Rave at about 50% ad over the Rome players, and it looks like FGP just want to try peek just a little bit, maybe get some room or for Scouting, maybe try and bait someone in on those sidelines, but there's actually a player in behind. Scuba Steve is in lobby in a little bit of a 1v1 with Frosty, and now the other soldier is here to help. He escapes out to 2. They know where he is. It's just a matter of time before he gets taken down, and with him out of the picture, FGP might get a little bit aggressive here, pressuring onto mid.
Went back, playing Ring Around the Rosie there for a second over in last. So one player down on the side of Rome as the rest of the team tries to get in. Scouty, yes, coming up huge, taking down Gadilli. It was a body shot, but hey, that'll get the job done. Darty ends up getting taken down by Throne as well. Great opportunity now. Frisbee going down. Scouty, I think, landing a headshot on him. Even more bombs coming in. Great surf from Rave. They're trying to throw everything at him, but he still lives at the end of the day, and now full advantage. Still 2 players down from Rome. This is looking great for FGP.
This is looking great. It's not over yet. Darty in the 4 spawn is up on Sniper. Could hit a great shot to just nullify all of this. I think they do know that he's there. Yeah. Oh, but he still hits a shot. Oh, no. Scouty hits the shot onto him as he peeks it. Expert reaction time from Scouty there to get that one. As now it looks like FGP are going to be making their way in through one. They do use the Uber. This is big old Uber ad. They already have a player ad to work with. They are going to be able to focus firing down the heavy. So much cap time onto the point. They just need to stand in it at once, and they are going to be able to. That is FGP taking this series 2-0, 2-1 on Process, 5-2 on Metalworks. A hell of a game either way. And yeah, that's going to be them getting in to that stage 2 little mini
Extra bracket.
yeah, extra bracket thing. They could finish third, but unfortunately for Rome, they have guaranteed themselves a 7th seed slot for the upcoming invite playoffs.
Yep, that's right. Rome going to get the 7th seed just ahead of government. And now FGP, against all odds. There were, I think, so few people really expecting this out of them. And they now have the opportunity. I mean, they hold their fate in their hands at this point. They could end up getting as high as 3rd seed. They do have to go on and play GCI first. Well, technically, there'll still be another bracket regardless, but their next hurdle is to take down GCI, who they're going to play in the last, basically the finals of this Group B bracket. And then from there, after that match is played, regardless of whether they win or lose, they're going to go into that 2nd seeding bracket and try and fight it out there, where they still have the opportunity to get as high as 3rd seed going into playoffs and as low as 6th. If you're FGP after being near last, basically tied for last with the government after the first stage regular season was over, you have got to feel great going into this next phase. I'm on the FGP hype train, man. This is great. They're just playing out of their minds right now. I feel like best they've played in their lives, really, and at the perfect time to do it too, as you're fighting for seeding, clawing for the best possible position that you can get going into playoffs. So hats off to FGP for another 2-0 win. This one they certainly had to work a little bit harder for than they did against the government the other night, but nonetheless coming out with a win here, and a big win it was.
Yes, a very, very big win. Has like you said, given them the opportunity to get up to 3rd seed for playoffs if everything worked out perfectly for them going forward. As I do hear the sound of players entering the Discord, meaning that we're going to have another round of interviews with them. One thing I do just want to point out really quick is that your top damager was Draco, 296, just pumping out the damage. And just really great stuff from everyone in total. As I guess we can start the interviews here. We have a
Long time no
Draco,
see, guys.
Magic, Rave, Scouty, Throne, almost everyone, and Frosty. I think everyone from the side of FGP. So I guess first off, y'all, congratulations on another win in your stage 2 of Invite Run. How does it feel? And I guess my first true question was, were you expecting Metalworks to be as dominant as it was?
Yeah, can you drag Darty?
I think. Wait. Throne has something to say about.
Do
if
not
he can
drag
speak-
Darty. Do not drag Darty.
If he can speak, Throne has something to say about Metalworks.
No, I'm here. I'm on my phone. Dude, yeah, I don't know. I didn't join the pregame, and we screwed Metalworks like 2 times ever.
No, this is
And,
our first time playing Metalworks this season.
Yeah, you guys got fucking rolled in the pregame. Oh, sorry, I can't cuss. You guys got rolled in the pregame, and then yeah, and then we just goated up. I don't know. That was cool.
Darty. Oh,
Is it?
you know,
Hi, Darty.
Darty back shots.
Wait, is that J. Cole? Wait, is that J. Cole?
Hello, my name is J. Cole, and I'm a big ass tater. Oh, yeah.
Don't
Darty,
beat yourself up, bud. No, he left.
great. That was
Oh, did
Here.
he leave? Oh man,
No.
I was gonna pull out some good stuff there. I'm sad, but it's all right. Hey guys, I in all seriousness though, like I'm on the I'm on the FGP hype train now. Like you guys are playing so good. Like what is the secret right now? It feels like you guys are a different team right now than you were at like the beginning of the season. Like what is so different about now? Because you guys just seem to be firing on all cylinders.
I don't know what you're talking about. We're the floor. We're the floor of Invite.
No, you guys are playing great. Come on.
We've definitely upped our coordination, and I
Oh,
think
man.
like the hardest part of like breaking into invite is the soft skills like calming, and I think we've kind of come together on that a bit more.
Yeah. Well, I asked a similar question, I think, when we talked the other. Oh my god,
Yeah,
fucking,
Tuesday.
that fucking picture. I was looking at the stream from 5 seconds ago. The I can't even refocus now. I don't know if anyone else saw that. Yes, on Tuesday when we last talked, I asked a similar question. I'm going to ask it again. Process your guys' last holds for the most part. I mean, what was happening there? I mean, you guys, I think this time around, I feel like the holds were really, really good from your side. Maybe a bit of beef on the side of Rome, but what are your thoughts on the last hold, specifically on process?
I don't think we had. I think there were like one or two like actual like genuine disad. The other times it was kind of just chaos and like a whole bunch of different people transitioning at the same time. But like on the genuine like disad last holds, I don't know. We just when the gun goes down, rotate the heavy the other door and just win.
Well, you guys did great. That's it's a really, really strong performance on both maps. Well, actually, TC, you have anything else? Because some of my next stuff is kind of going into next opponent. So
Oh yeah, no worries. I guess yeah, Metalworks. Were you surprised that Rome picked Metalworks against you guys? Were you kind of expecting them to pick something else? Because, like you said, you guys hadn't really practiced it at all. But did you think that it was a strong map for Rome particularly, or were you kind of as surprised as we were to see them pull it out?
I think I think in terms of the map bans we did, at least for the first one, I think banning Bagel was probably like our best option because that forced him to picking a 5 CP. I'm more surprised they didn't pick Sultry first, to be honest. But I was expecting Metal or like Sultry.
Yeah, I was definitely against the Metalworks pick, or I wanted to ban it, but like I don't know. I'm glad that I was wrong. And no, I could say some stuff about Granary, but I'm not going to. Yeah, I'm just glad we won in 2 maps. I'll say that.
I feel like Granary would have been a bit of a toss up because that's. I mean, you guys haven't played that at all really this year either, right?
No, we haven't scrimmed it either.
Yeah, that's what I didn't want to say. We've
It was
literally
gonna be a
never
little
played
dice
that
roll.
map
We were
ever.
probably gonna perma snipe.
I'm more
Yeah.
surprised they picked it.
Yeah, we were surprised Rome picked it, especially since their last match they kind of got they didn't have a great time on Granary, so we were thinking they would pick like Snake or Gully.
Yeah, that was I was kind of chalking it up to if it went to Granary, that was just going to be like a toss up basically at that point. You know, because it didn't seem like either of you really would have had a ton of confidence on it. But I mean, going back to Darty was in here for a second. How did it feel to play against your former teammate, and especially it seemed like when I talked to you guys Tuesday, it was like, well, we might lose, but we just want to make his life hell kind of thing. And you guys end up pulling out the win. Like, what is that like playing against, you know, a former teammate and friend like that, and especially pulling out a big win against him like that on such a big stage?
Womp womp.
Well,
I'm more excited we didn't focus you more, Darty. You should have done
We
it.
didn't need to. He
Time.
like
feeds in.
okay,
He's back.
like
He's back.
on a real note, like it was just like kind of crazy. Like it felt like I was never like actually it did feel like I was never able to like do what I want. Like I always felt like I had to play like pretty passive and like I was never allowed to walk around and like try to go for like the demo pick or like anything, especially on like Metalworks. It just felt like I was just sitting on the floor the whole time, getting ran at and shit. It was like very unfun. But you know, I mean, shit. I'm a tater, I guess. Like I don't know. Like it was hard to play against you guys, especially when especially on like yeah, just on mids. Just really hard to play around. And then I got like headshot by Scouty, and I said GG. Ah shit.
That's like the
Scouty?
nicest thing I've ever heard Darty say.
Yeah, dude. Holy shit! Last season,
Who are we
For the
talking
things you said.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's I do like the camaraderie here. It's good. TC, do you have something? Or
No, I don't have necessarily anything. I was just gonna say, now that you guys have guaranteed yourself a little bit further into the stage 2 of invite, how do you foresee these next few matches going? I think you guys got GCI, and then after that, you could be playing, I think the Darkest Nights, maybe whoever falls into that little mini bracket at the tail end of a what is it? Stage 2. How are you guys expecting the rest of the stage to play out, and where do you guys think you're gonna be for playoffs?
At least for our team, I'm pretty sure we all agreed. We kind of don't want to play too much TF2, so we're kind of fine with whatever. Because I don't know how the bracket works, but we're not trying to play more than like 6 more matches, you know?
I think we have like at least 3 more matches guaranteened before
We're trying to
the
stop
right
playing
now.
as soon as
It's
possible.
such a bad system,
We got the
dude.
middle bracket. But I think
we didn't even play Wednesday either.
no, we didn't.
Yeah, we don't ever scrim Wednesdays.
Are we guaranteed like not last place yet?
No, yeah,
Yes.
we're not
Ye-
guaranteed not
Well,
last place.
No, because
For
the
the seeding,
playoffs
for
happen,
seeding.
right?
For
Yeah.
seedings, we are 6th place at least, I believe. Right now.
Guaranteed at
Yes.
least 6th. The highest you could get in seeding now is 3rd if you win the like middle bracket.
Cool
Alright,
beans.
Whoa.
I
I'm
think
gonna
we're just
say.
gonna thug it out. That's what we're
Oh
gonna
yeah,
do.
we're gonna thug it out. We're just gonna
Leak
take it
to
one map at a
FGP's
time.
strats.
Technically, we're tied on maps with GCI, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. I mean, that's a team that you guys have played against like a number of times now, and you know, you beat them once. You had a really close series with them when you played them earlier in stage 2. Like, I guess regarding them specifically, any just general thoughts about that specific matchup and like, you know, plans of attack, things top of mind for you guys, or are you just gonna keep it close to the chest?
I don't really
Maybe
have
just
anything
take
on
it day by
mind.
day. I don't think we're doing
Yeah.
anything special.
You
Yeah.
underestimate or you overestimate the brains that we
I
have.
think we're gonna play at 10:32.
we just
Hey,
play.
Yeah.
I'm
Last
telling
time we actually,
oh good, sorry.
last time we actually like started too late and then we fell asleep, Sunshine. So that's why we lost actually. Like, so you know, we'll start at 10:30.
Yeah, Scotty has a
Sure.
bedtime, so we're gonna meet that.
Well, yeah, come out with a
Yeah.
big 2-0 win and get Scouty to bed nice and early, and we'll be,
Need
you
my
know, you'll be cooking.
games, bro.
Hey, I believe, guys. I believe. I'm fully on board with the FGP hype train. I think he could take that dub against GCI, and I'm super excited to watch it. I guess before we wrap up here, same thing we did last time. We'll run it back again. Any shout outs you guys want to do? We can go bottom to top again. Throne, you got anything for us?
Dude, I didn't. Did we even have an interview, or did we just like join this channel like after we won? I don't know if this was like a plan because we just did this, but like, yeah, I have all the same shout outs. Shout out my team. Shout out to Rome. Like I said, they're like one of the nice teams that didn't BM us. So I'll be rooting for them whenever we don't play them. Shout out to the casters again. You guys are the goats. You already know that. And whoever the producer is, I assume Dr. Underscore. He's the goat too.
Jay this time.
Oh, Jay. I'm sorry, Jay. I just disrespected you. But good job. And that's it for me.
Cool. Scouty?
Yeah, I got a shout out to Gramps. That's it.
Rave.
Again, shout out to the casters and the producers, man. You guys were back casting our dub again. Feels great. And shout out to my team. That we really pulled it through 2 matches in a row. That's like unheard of for FGP this season. So let's see if we can keep it going.
Cool. Magic.
Shout out to the team. Shout out to the floor. Shout out to Frosty for being on the top half of logs for the first time in 2 seasons. 2 maps in a row, mind you. It's real. Shout out to all my Twitch viewers. They're awesome.
Twitch.tv/
MA6LC. Yep. Go over there, sub. Yep.
I don't get no fucking
Whoa.
views.
Shout out to the casters in production. You guys are awesome.
Much
That's
love,
it.
much love. Frosty.
Just shout out to the Pocket Scout. I have to put it on my back in advance, and he fucking shit talks me an invite. Shout out to the production. Shout out to Darty, who's at the top of the voice chat. And shout out Tcmano, actually. Well played tonight, Mono. You really brought the team together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Key member. Draco, you got anything?
I guess shout out to my teammates, especially Throne and Frosty. You guys went off today. It was always nice to see you guys go crazy.
Yeah, you're acting like I didn't do anything. Jesus.
Big shout out to
did
Darty
try.
though. Hey, without this brother, hey, we wouldn't have won. You know? That's it.
Okay.
Darty, you got anything for
Darty,
us
what you
before
got?
we head out?
Sing
Shout
us a
out.
song, maybe?
Oh, I'm gonna shout out my team, and I'm gonna shout out FGP. That rhymed, but yeah, shout out my team. Shout out FGP. It was really, I'm not gonna say it was a fun match, but it was a very, very intense match. Shout out production, gecks, Tcmano, Jay, everyone here, goated, and shout out to
Back shots.
shout out to the Rome and FGP merch. Whoa!
For real.
Plug.
Shameless
That
plug.
is the perfect segue.
Gotta support the Romanians, man. They're struggling.
yeah, it's tough. It's tough out there. Yeah, great, Darty. You're basically a caster at this point. You've created a great segue. Rome have released merch with their new logo on Fireside's merchandise website. Proceeds go towards their upcoming land expenses, folks. Type !Rome to buy their merch, and also FGP have stickers and goodies in the shop as well. You can see it up on the stream there, the Rome merch, but FGP also have some stuff rocking with. Get it while it's hot, because these guys are hot right now. Just absolutely cooking in the invite division. Get it while it's hot. You got a tank there. You got a hat. You got stickers. Get on it while you can. Head on over to the Fireside merch store. You could type !FGP to grab their merch. I mean, look at that. Who wouldn't want one of those tank tops?
It's the definition of buying low and selling high. This is what low looks like.
Exactly. You too could be a millionaire off of FGP merch. It's legendary. So get on it while you can. Rome and FGP merch, and really a great match between these two teams this evening. It was all I could have hoped for, except maybe getting a nice third map on Granary, but we'll maybe save that for another day later on in the playoffs. But it's been a blast. I give my shout outs real quick to FGP on a great win, Rome for coming out and playing this as well. It was a super entertaining match for me to watch. I've had a lot of fun watching you guys over the course of this kind of pre-playoff season here. So it's been great for me. Shout out to TC, Jay over on production. TC, it was great to get to cast with you again. You got anything for us before we head off?
Shout outs, like you said, to FGP. Congrats on winning, y'all. All of you guys did phenomenal. Shout outs as well to Rome. All roads lead to Rome. And, they have done amazing in their second season of Invite as well. Shout outs to Jay, does so much work at Fireside. Is just phenomenal. We wouldn't be able to do any of this without him. As well, shout outs to Gex. It's always great to cast with you. It's always great to play with you, dude. You're just an awesome guy all around. So definitely would love to do this again.
Absolutely. I hope we get to
kiss.
Shout out Just Jazz as well.
maybe one day. Yeah, shout out to Just Jazz. He's not even here, but we got to give him some love too, because he's also the GOAT. Look at that. Oh, I can look. Nice picture there, Jay. Oh yeah, I'm kissing myself now. Oh God, all right. I'm gonna get out of here before I do something crazy. In case anyone is just hearing the audio, Jay's doing wacky shit over on the stream with my picture. So, on that note, we're gonna end it there. Again, big shout outs to Jay over on production and the rest of the Fireside crew. If it weren't for them, we wouldn't have these great matches to cast again across all divisions of RGL. Really a big part of keeping that coverage up and getting to watch great matches like we saw this evening. But really, that's going to do it for us. FGP coming out with another big win, playing top of their game as we head on into the playoff season, taking down Rome 2-0 this evening. They'll head on and play GCI very, very soon. You can catch that coverage either here or over on the RGL's main channel. I don't know which it's going to be, but it's going to be a good one. Make sure you tune in for it. For myself, Gecks, Tcmano, Jay, and the rest of us here at Fireside Cast, we say thanks and have a good evening.
Good night.
Thanks, guys.